Good morning, noon, or night. My name is Jet, and welcome to my channel, JITV, Jet in the Valley. So this is about people who use guilt as some type of a tool to maybe like try to control people. So anyone who uses guilt as a tool or says that any type of guilt, I guess it's actually shaming. So guilt is you either did something or you didn't do something. That's guilt. So it's like you're either guilty or you're innocent. But shame, when you shame people and you try to use shame to adjust and control people's behavior, that's where there's a problem. So we should never be using shame to adjust and control people. Because if you did do something that's wrong and you feel ashamed, that is your punishment. And that's there also at your chastening. It's not even, that's your chastening. If you do something wrong, you feel ashamed. So that way you might not do it again, to try and stop you from doing it again. People want to say like you shouldn't feel shame for anything. Like, well, how, if you do something that's bad and it hurts somebody, you're not supposed to feel any sort of shame or bad about doing that? That doesn't make any sense, okay? The shame is there to try and teach you to not do that, okay, anymore. But it should be in a form of conviction. So it should be like, oh man, I really hurt that person. I feel bad about it. I'll make sure I don't do that again. I learned my lesson. That's like conviction. It's like to help you learn not to make the same mistakes twice. That's conviction. Condemnation comes in and it will say, yeah, man, I hurt that person. I feel really bad. Well, I'm the worst person that's in the world, and I'm never going to get anything right, and I'm always going to do that again, and that's just who I am, and I'm just a bad person, and that's there's like no hope, and I'm just always going to be that way, and want you to like go under a rock and hide forever. That's condemnation. That's shitty. And that is how people get sick, is by listening to the condemnation as opposed to recognizing it for its lies, okay? Because all of those things are lies. Because you did one thing one time does not mean that that is who you are and that's how you're going to be for the rest of your life, and that there's no forgiveness for you, and that you're always going to be that way. That's not true. It's not true. So we really need to start recognizing the truth from what's a lie. Condemnation is a lie. Any form of condemnation, it's a lie. If it comes in and it tells you you're bad and you're always bad and you can never be good, and all humans are bad because look at us and look what we've done and all of these things, and look at how you've treated people, look at how you treated the earth, look at how this, that, and the other, you're bad and you deserve bad stuff. You don't deserve good things. And that's what condemnation will say. That's not true. Those are all lies. So those are all lies. Because there's love here. Love is here. There's perfect love here. And it knows how to forgive. And it knows that what our dilemma is with our minds and our bodies. It knows what the human nature is right now. The standard human condition is that your mind and your body is against your spirit, life force, soul energy, okay? Your mind and your body are fighting against your spirit, soul, life force energy, the energy that's animating you and keeping you alive, okay? Love knows that, okay? And it has nothing but forgiveness, and wants love is love, okay? How could love want anything other than love for you? And that's the other whole, the evilness of the condemnation that comes in, tries to tell you that you can't be forgiven. You would never, you've messed up so bad in your life that you can never be forgiven, when that's not true. That's not true at all. Everybody you recognize what I'm trying to tell you about your mind and your body being in opposition to your spirit animating life force soul energy, okay? That is the nature of reality. That is what's happening right now to every human who's in a body. So we need to recognize the lies that come in versus what's true, okay? And that is what a huge, we are massively ignoring and missing when we're trying to help people who have problems, okay? The problems that are making you more sick is because you're believing lies. You really have to get to the root of what is happening here. There's the truth, which is of love, and there's love, okay? Love is absolutely provable and possible, and we all know love, okay? As souled individuals, as a souled individual who has the animating life force energy of love, which means you have the capacity, the capability to understand love, give love, be of love. We really have to start teaching people what discernment is, and discernment is the ability to discern between things. So it's like what's true and right and what's not true and what's not right. That is something that's in us, and it's a gift that we have so that we can find our way through this reality, okay? Discerning one thing from another. It's not multiple choice. It's not multiple choice. It's the ability to discern between things, okay? To tell the difference between things. And that comes from love. Discernment comes from love. Just like knowledge, real knowledge, it comes from love. Knowledge is power, right? So real and the truest knowledge comes from love, because love is the realest and truest knowledge. And many systems are functioning in a way to keep the average souled individual, person who understands and has the capacity for love, away from the knowledge of love and what it is. It's for everyone. Love is for everyone. It's inclusive for everyone. It's not like the monetary system where only some people can have a little bit and they hoard it and don't take care of other people. That's not how that works. It's not how this works. Love is for everybody. It's inclusive. And if you could recognize that love is the most high and love is the superpower here, you have to stop believing the condemnation part of your brain that's telling you all these lies that are not true and they're against love, okay? Because here's the thing. If you've had a little bit of truth come your way about the things that I'm saying to you, you no longer have plausible deniability. You can no longer say, I can't be held accountable because I didn't know, okay? There are people who don't know things, they're not held accountable because they don't know. Children are nescient, okay? There's a difference between ignorance and nescience. Ignorance has the word ignore in it, okay? It means that the potential for knowledge is there, but you're ignoring it, okay? Nescience, on the other hand, means it's like children. They don't know. They don't have certain capabilities with their minds and their bodies and whatever else, to understand the things that adults can. So they're not held at the same standard or responsibility. I mean, is that not fair? That's the other thing. This condemnation will try and tell you that things aren't fair when that's a perspective, and fair is not a good word to use, I would assume, okay? Because it's like if there's a computer and it's programmed to do something, and it will do it every time something pops up. Okay, would that be fair? I mean, would we use the word fair like, oh, that's a fair system? Because fair is a perspective and not looking at it from the most high and from the overall viewpoint of what this reality is, okay? We have to, if you think of it as a type of a system, like a computer system, right? Is it, you wouldn't use the word fair with computers because it's programmed, and this is a program, and this is a program. It's just what it is. So that's the whole thing behind what I'm trying to explain is it doesn't matter what we think or this, that, or the other. It's like reality is what it is. There are systems that are operating. Our minds and our bodies are in the system that are operating, and there are rules in ways that it's functioning, okay? And we have to try and line up and understand the rules of reality and what is here. You can't make your own on certain things. It's like, I'll have to do more on the computer, but it's like, you know, you can't get into a computer and try and do one thing when it's not programmed for that, because you can't do it. No matter how hard you try, it's programmed to do this. It's not programmed to do that. So when you are just like openly going against the rules of reality, you're just bashing your head up against a wall, because there are rules in the system that are in place, and they're there just like a parent, okay? A parent doesn't give a child rules to steal their joy from them and to stop them from having fun, and because they hate them, and all of these condemning lies that come in about love. You give your children rules and boundaries and stuff so they don't get hurt. It's to keep them safe. It's a safety issue. You know what I mean? It's like you put bumpers on the bed so they don't bash their head, because they don't know not to bash their head. Okay? The state that we are in, with our mind and our body being in opposition to our spirit, life force, soul energy, okay, if there were not rules and boundaries and different things set up here for us, what do you think would happen to this entire place? I mean, it's not hard to like fathom that if we could snap our fingers and change any and everything, that there are people who are here that would devastatingly destroy creation. It's not hard to understand that, because there's people, because it's in us. We're self-destructive at this point. So there's rules and there's things set in place, and there's free will. So what we have the choice to do, we have the free will to accept and understand what I'm saying and line yourself up with love, because it's awesome, and it's going to be your best option. Your best option for yourself, that you're going to have the most power, you're going to be the strongest, you're going to be the most content, you're going to have joy, peace, contentment, kindness, happiness, self-control, peace, and patience. You're going to have all of those things if you choose to line yourself up with love. You can't have those things when you choose to do things that go against love. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying there's rules to this reality. You can go, you have free will. You can do all the things that you want to do. You can do everything that you can possibly want to do. But you don't get contentment and joy, peace, and self-control, patience. You don't get love from doing the things that are not of love and not loving. That is the system. The system's already in place. And if you are doing all these things, because I did them for 35 years, you do all of these things that are just against love because you don't understand, because all you're doing is you're doing whatever you see everybody else doing to a degree. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this person did this, and my mom did this, and my dad did that, and my grandpa did this, and I see on TV, and these people are doing this, and you know what I mean? And you're trying to figure out what's going on. So you're like, all I'm doing is doing what everybody else is doing. So why is it so bad? So why do I not have joy, peace, contentment, kindness, happiness? Why do I not have those things? Well, it's because mostly everybody that you see is doing things in opposition to love. They're going against love, knowingly or unknowingly. So if you really think about how it used to be, would be people were very isolated in little groups. And you know, sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. Now, with all the connectiveness and the ways that we have to share information, knowledge, and wisdom and things like that, The average person, okay, the average souled individual, the person with the capacity to understand love, has access to way more knowledge and things than they ever did before. And I'm specifically talking about poor people, okay? Because people who had money, they had the privilege to understand the rules and the nature of reality. They had the privilege to understand how their mind and their body functioned, and they decided to hoard that information and keep it to themselves so that they could rule over people. So they knew that there's rules to this reality, right? And they're using that information to put everyone else in bondage by not telling them the rules, not telling them how this place functions. They're using that knowledge to keep people enslaved by their own minds and bodies. And it's just like, it's so sick. And we're in an era and time where knowledge is increasing, right? Knowledge is increasing. There's a band, AJJ, and they sing a song, and you know, they're fairly right. It's like knowledge is increasing, but information is overload. Okay, so that's why you have to come in with discernment. They should be teaching discernment to every person. Okay, so you can tell the difference between what's good and what's not good, and what's healthy and what's not healthy, and what's going to make you thrive and what's going to make you sick. You need discernment so you can tell the difference between those things. Without discernment, you're just in overload. If you just accept all this knowledge and information, and that is the plan, they're trying to overload you with decisions. Well, this person said that, and that person said this, and it's in conflict, and you know, well, I like this person, and I like, it's just such garbage. It's all garbage. It's all, they call that bread and circuses, when they have people fighting against each other, and it's promoted, and everybody's seen it, and this, that, and the other, and it's literally just a distraction to keep you separated from the knowledge of love. They don't want you to know about love, because once you understand love, you are free. It sets you free. Once you understand love, then you have freedom. That's the opposite of what these systems want. They want you to stay in these systems because they are benefiting off of you not being free. They are benefiting off of you being enslaved by your mind and your body. And you think this, oh, this person did this, so now I need to spend my money on this, and I need to spend my money on this, and I need a bigger house than that person, and if I have a boat, it means this, and if I have this, it means that, and that's all a trap. It's literally just a trap. All of it's a trap. To keep you functioning in this system, because it needs our power, and it needs our energy, or collapse. I'm going to do probably 1 million videos just saying this specific thing, okay? If we, I don't even know how many people it would be. They say that, I don't know, because all of that stuff might be lies, so I'm not going to go there. I don't know how many of us it would take, but if a portion of people decided that they were going to love above everything else and love other people, love, okay, make love the most important thing, not money, love be the most important thing, and then love other people, what would happen to all of our systems? All of our systems are operating from money. They're all monetarily based. Money is fear-based systems because it's lack-based. Someone has some, other people don't have any, so it's lack. So when you are in lack, it puts you in, when you perceive that you are lacking, then it puts you in a state of fear. When you're in a state of fear, you're functioning from survival mode and not from survival mode, which is way down here, as opposed to like a thriving mode, which is way up here. Inclusiveness, exclusiveness, okay? But the way that the monetary system is functioning has it switched around. They have inverted what the actual natural system, how the nature of reality is functioning. They've inverted. It's been inverted. I call this inversion land. So if these systems would crash, right? If we loved love more than anything else and we loved other people, who would make sure that that message did not get spread? Who would make sure that that message, they would do everything possible to make that message not be heard by anybody, or to misinfo, disinfo, everything related to that message. Well, every system here would benefit from suppressing that idea. They would suppress the idea of loving love and loving each other, because if you love love and you love each other, these systems can't work. These systems go bye-bye, and that's what's going to happen. We're at a separation. We're separating, and it's from people who love love and people who don't love love. It's a separation. It's not fair to anyone for a long term to make the people who love love hang out with the people who don't love love, because they are in opposition. Not only are they fighting, all the time, but if you force, like communism, if you force one to do the other, okay, then you got half of the people aren't going to be happy. If you're forcing someone to be loving and they're not loving, they're not going to be happy. If you force someone who is loving to be lustful or greedy, they're not going to be happy. So really, it's totally 100% fair that this separation happen. Because if you don't love love, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy in love and functioning from love. And if you don't, then you're not. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's totally fair that this separation is occurring. And there is a separation occurring. It's from the people who love love, the people who don't love love. And I'm here to try and explain why you should love love, okay? And go for team love, because love is the only reason anything is here. Love is the only reason for creation. And it loves us. It wants us to have the best options. It wants us to have peace and kindness and joy, happiness, contentment, all of those things. And I've said it in other videos, the stuff that's other than love, it's almost outlived its purpose. If you have only vanilla ice cream and you let children pick vanilla ice cream, did they have free will? They didn't have free will, because there's only freaking vanilla ice cream, right? So if there's vanilla and chocolate, if there's good and evil, right? And you let them pick, now you stand back and you let them use their free will. So that's what's happening. You use your free will to pick love, or you use your free will to not pick love, and that's what's happening. And the people who understand this now, they're here so they can get set and ready to teach other people the same thing that I'm teaching you and telling you. This is not popular information, because people want to pretend like there aren't rules to reality and this, that, and the other. It's not even that the people want it. It's just that's how things are right now. Things are not always going to be this way. That's the good news. Things are not always going to be this way. If you just start with trying to believe that, to try to understand that love is the most important thing here. Love is the most important thing here, over top of everything else. And if you get on and you do a little bit of research about frequencies, right? Frequencies, you can see that love is the highest. And you can see when you're in fear and shame and they have all these different things, they're like way low and way down there. I've been way low and way down there. It's like, so my whole goal is to get people that are way down there to realize that they don't have to stay down there, and they don't need anybody else to help them get up out of there. You need knowledge. You need knowledge. That's all you need. You need knowledge and wisdom, discernment. If you love love, you're not going to function well in these systems, because these systems are against love. You don't need to get the love from someone else. It's nice to have the love from someone else, but you don't need to get it from someone else. Most people, they don't have the love to give you, and that's just the nature of what's happening right now. Okay, I've said this, if I have a glass of coffee, right, and I spill it over, does Mountain Dew come out? No, just coffee spills out of there. If my cup does not have Mountain Dew in it, It only has coffee in it. I can't give you any Mountain Dew. I don't have Mountain Dew. If someone does not have love, okay, they don't have it. They can't give it to you. They can't share it with you, okay? They can take yours because you can give yours. It has to be a two-way kind of system. But the way the systems are operating, they're teaching people to give their love. They're teaching that. They're encouraging people to be taken advantage of, is what they're encouraging, because they're not teaching you to be strong, and they're not teaching people to remain in love. They're teaching all these other things that go against love, and that's just what it is. And they're doing it in the schools, they're doing it through stories, they're doing it through all these different systems, and it's just an unbelievable mess. And pain and suffering are used to bring you to the knowledge of love, and you will get there. If you know what love is and you feel like you don't have any, and you want love, then you already have it. It's in you. You don't need to get it from someone else. You just need to acknowledge that it's all you want and open yourself back up, and then it's going to come in. It's going to come in and it's going to help you, because you're going to understand real love. Once you get love and you can see the things that aren't love, then you can stay away from the things that aren't love. That's how you stay safe. You stay safe by staying away from the things that aren't of love. If you can be brave enough and strong enough to acknowledge that all we really actually want is love, because that's painful when you think that you have to get love from someone else and other things, because you're not going to get it. Most likely not going to get it. You may have been in a family that's lucky enough to understand, and they have love and they can share and they have peace and joy, but like nobody that I know came from a family like that. Nobody that I know in real life had a family that had, it was either they had like a properness, right, which was only there out of fear, because they were in bondage by fear, okay, or it was just some people they were totally full of unforgiveness. I mean, unforgiveness will keep you separate from love, because unforgiving is the opposite of love. Love is forgiving. So if you're doing that's what I mean. If you're doing all the things that are opposite of love, you're unforgiving and you're spiteful and you're angry, you have fear, you're lusting, or lustful, or like, and by that I mean like you are letting your mind and body do whatever it wants to do without considering what it's doing to your spirit or life force soul energy. And you will, if you are lustful enough and for long enough, you will lose your ability to connect to other people. You will lose your ability to connect to your partner. That's just what it is. And that's what they call a slippery slope. You know, you see the slope and you know that it's slippery, right? And you're careful for a little bit, but then bam, all of a sudden you just go down, and it's just going to happen. So get off the slippery slope that you know is a slippery slope, because anything against love is a slippery slope, and get on to solid freaking ground, which is love, and anything love based, and don't care what anybody else thinks. And that's the thing, when you understand love and you let it in, then you're not going to care what any other human thinks about the decisions that you are making, because you know that you are making the most high and the best decisions, because they are love-based decisions. I'm not saying we won't make mistakes, and sometimes you get in a hurry and things happen and then you panic or whatever, and like you're not in love and you can't, but all we do is practice. We just practice of always functioning from love. The more time you spend in love, that means the more time you're spending not in rage, hate, guilt, anger, shame, fear, lust, greed, envy. The more time you're in love, the less time you're in all of that shit. That's what makes you sick. If you want to be healthy, you stay in love. All the things of love. And if you love love, guess what? People are, this world is going to think that you're weird. And this world is not going to like it. Because this world is enslaved And they want you to be that way too. But guess what? You don't have to be that way. You're not gonna be that way. You're gonna get out and you're gonna be free because you're gonna have love. And that's what sets you free from the bondage of caring about this and caring about that and caring about all these things, whatever, you know. No. If you love love and you love other people, then there's your freedom. And that's the big secret. And with that, much love and many thanks. I love you. Thank you.